And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Abyssal Reef and our first match of the season. The third season of the FSL. Spawning to the bottom, no, to the top left. In purple, we have our Zerg player, Miyuni. And whoa, this is actually, whoa, okay, here we go. And to the bottom right, in blue, playing Terran. It is Unfabulous. Actually, it is Estatte, but this is her EU account. She is named Estatte on her NA account, but she joined with the name of Estatte, so we just have to live with that. So, starting with the wall off over here, we have the barracks at the front, and we have Miyuni starting with a hatchery first. Just the usual stuff, nothing all too uncommon. First Overlord already making its way towards the natural base, a little bit behind it, so it will be able to check when the natural is actually going down. We also have another Overlord walking across the map, probably to just have a good grasp of the entrance part of her opponent's base, and maybe later on to get inside the base and get some scouting information. In the meantime, we have Estatte moving in with, we can actually just count on the music. So, we have Estatte moving in with an SCV, scouting that the hatchery has already gone down. So, and there it's moving. Already gas for Miyuni. Waiting for the 200 minerals in order to plant down a pool. No, it's actually done, never mind. She's already gathering some minerals. We'll probably just wait for the spawning pool to pop. We'll then produce queens out of both of these hatcheries and maybe one or two lings in order to get some aggression done. So there we have them, first two links, while we have the command center down on the bottom for Estatte, who's actually not starting to wall off whatsoever, does not even have any marines out right now, has just transferred this barracks into a barracks with a reactor, is building another barracks right behind it, so double racks opening here for Estatte, while Miyuni is actually taking out the Reaper that was sent over in order to get some scouting information and apply some additional pressure at the beginning. Some opening pressure, actually. So, okay, Reaper taking out both of these lings here, quite nicely done. Miyuni just pulling one of the queens close towards the ramp and actually down here to help out defending. No! Just sends it back in order to spend the energy for some lava injects, I think, later on. So, we have an SCV over here just checking for a potential third base, which is not coming. And another Reaper over here. And now we have a lot of Zerglings in the making, so Estatte actually moves in with a Reaper, just gets the full scouting information, sees that there's no Roach Warren, sees that actually, maybe, I don't know if she actually managed to see that no more workers are inside the gas, so it seems, and there we have them, that Miyuni will just pressure quite heavily with a lot more additional links incoming. Probably just wants to run over Estatte here at her natural base, which is still totally not walled off whatsoever here. Only 2 Marines just waiting and another Reaper, while some more Marines are in the making. Stim is far from being done. We have a factory, but it's not producing any Hellions whatsoever. It's only working on its reactor. So finally trying to get down a bunker, but is actually totally unaware of that attack that is headed her base, even coming from 2 different sides here. So even if one part of the base had been sealed off, it wouldn't even matter. Now the links are just surrounding everyone, just killing the Marines in an instant, now taking down most of the SCVs as well, taking down more and more SCVs as we speak. Doesn't even care about the bunker, might now try to take it down. And unfortunately, oh no, the depot is still down. 2 links were sitting on it, and Estatte just realizes this is it, can't really win the game anymore, and Miyuni takes the first map. So, Balchi Vestige is our second map, spawning to the bottom right again, in blue, our Terran player Estatte, and to the top left we have our Zerg player Miyuni, who just managed to kill her opponent quite quickly in the first game by Zergling rushing her. And since Estatte didn't have any kind of wall off at all at her natural base and couldn't manage to get up the main depot in time before 2 links were actually blocking the depot, so it couldn't be raised anymore. Well, that didn't work out all too well for her. Let's see how she wants to avenge herself. Seems like the same standard opening once more. We have a barracks and a refinery. We'll probably see a Reaper headed towards Miyuni's natural base in a few minutes, or actually only a matter of seconds. More seconds, but less than a minute. So hatchery already going down for Miyuni, so same standard opening for her as well. Going into spawning pool and then extractor, quite interestingly. So not just going for the extractor first and then a little bit later on, but sending the spawning or building the spawning pool after having replaced the drones. We'll have the possibility to build queens a little bit earlier than usual there. So first Reaper in production, while it seems that this SCV will probably plant down a command center as soon as possible. Once we have the 400 minerals in our bank, and there it goes down. So spawning pool almost done. And Estatte has actually seen everything here. Knows what's going on, has seen the pool, has seen the gas, knows that some links might be headed her way, but of course the Reaper is there to deny that first link harassment a little bit. The first initial Reaper usually, of course, to scout if the opponent has already taken a third base, but Estatte actually uses the SCV for that. So the Reaper can already get into the natural base and then also go further into the main base. And while doing so, we'll just keep these links busy. So that's why Miyuni just can't send all of these links straight across the map, because she just wants to have a few units available in order to defend herself against the Reaper that should actually come in any minute. Don't really know what this Reaper is doing. But here it comes. Queen is not out yet, but yeah, as I said, Miyuni now has some of these links available in order to keep that Reaper away and buy some time until the Queen finally comes out. And with the Queen's ranged attack, there's not much a Reaper alone can do here. Of course, might even get in, or might still get in into the main base here and get some scouting information, but no real way to do extended amounts of damage with that one Reaper as soon as the first Queen is out. But of course, I mean, we know Miyuni. She started with a lot of links in the first game, and it seems as if she just wants to do it once more. Already 8 links in production. So it seems as if she wants to maybe capitalize on her opponent's mistake on map 1 for a second time here. So nice idea here by Miyuni to not take the usual expansion over here, but rather going for that one over here. But the Reaper scouted it straight away. So actually Estatte knows what's up. She doesn't, again, have any kind of wall in here, so I'm a bit worried. I mean, she's gathering a lot of Marines this time around. She has the supply depot up, so no way for units to get in or out. And yeah, there she finally realizes. Seems as if she scouted this with the Reaver over here, because the Reaper now is dead. Links are rushing in, but this time around Estatte is prepared, just lifts the orbital command and moves it inside her own base. Still, I mean, of course she saved her own orbital command, but it's pretty difficult for her to move out right now. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of links right at her gates, and Miyuni is not all in whatsoever. I mean, she's taking a third base quite early on. I mean, of course she's down in workers a little bit here, but containing her opponent as she does right now. She just can comfortably drone right now. The only thing she really has to be aware is that her opponent might be dropping her behind it. So that's why she actually moves her links back a little bit and only leaves a few of them back here, so that she will realize when her opponent finally tries to move out. But yeah, that's actually the only thing that could really hurt her right now. A medevac drop right into her undefended second or main base. That could probably just cripple her or hurt her hard without the links being at home in order to defend. But yeah, she's back enough. She also just cleared up the rocks and opened another attack path, so she will be able to attack even more easily if she needs to. And I like this move quite a lot. I mean, she has control over everything. Just look at that vision by Zerg. It's amazing. She just has every potential expansion under control and knows that her opponent is still on one base. But there we have it. Finally, Estatte knows that she needs to do something in order to give her opponent some headaches. So she sends across the map the 2 medevacs with the 16 Marines. Miyuni already knows where this drop is headed to, so she just walks towards this place, has the Zerglings in position. Still, 60 Marines are a lot, but if these Zerglings actually can attack while these Marines unload, they could still kill them. But Estatte knows of that, of course, and instead of dropping into the third base, which is quite defended, she just drops inside the main base. And now she gains a pretty good position here. And without any Banelings to support this, the Lings alone will probably not suffice in order to take down this this force here. I mean, good thing is that the Spore Crawler at least is taking out all of the Medivacs here, but still so much damage being dealt by all of those Marines, killing almost all of the Lings and 9 drones in addition to that. So that push kind of worked out for Estatte quite well here. Yes, she didn't get any important tech structures and maybe not even that many drones for losing 16 Marines and a medevac, but she also managed to take out a lot of Miyuni's forces here and is now just walking right into the third base here. That's only being protected by Spore Crawlers and a Queen that almost gets taken out completely by Widowmine, but there are more Marines incoming here. And at the moment, Miyuni is just struggling, pumping out more Zerglings here, and the Zerglings themselves will just always trade inefficiently. Finally, we have the Baneling nest down, so the only thing that Miyuni actually needs to in advance, I think, is really morph some Banelings. I think that's something she really wants to do. She has a lot of resources available without... I mean, she will just trade so cost ineffectively here once more if she just tries to engage this force with pure Lings, and more Medivacs and Marines are coming. At the meantime, we have Estatte just saturating her natural base, and she doesn't even really need any more, but she also has a third command center just in case. Yeah, taking out the third base of Miyuni quite easily. Miyuni trying to get a Spire right behind it, but this just takes so much time, almost the full 70 seconds from now on, and Estatte will just have so many opportunities to just walk into the natural base where there's actually no forces. I mean, of course, we know that. We have all the vision. Estatte cannot really know how much Miyuni is committing right now to forces or is not. Just scanning the main base, seeing that there's a Spire, so let's see how she actually reacts. I mean, there's actually not really something she needs to react with. She can plant down some turrets here in order to keep her main base and her natural base secure, but she has so many forces already out. I mean, it will still take some time for the Spire to be done. Miyuni not pumping any units because she just wants to keep up the minerals and the gas for the Mutas to come once the Spire pops, but I think she will just die before that. I mean, Marines right now inside her main base, they have 1-1 upgrades, Queen with no upgrades whatsoever. I don't even know if the Zerglings have any upgrades. Yes, they do. There's at least the 1-0 upgrade, but yeah, the Marines just wrecking havoc inside the main base of Miyuni here. And like I said, I don't really feel that there's much that she can do right now, trying to desperately morph a few Banelings over here, but Estatte has already seen that the Banelings are getting morphed, moves her Marines towards them, having to take out most of these Lings before, and finally the Banes morph, getting only a small chunk of the army unfortunately here, and that should be it. The spawning pool falls, no more Lings, only the 18 more Lings in production that will help out in order to clear this. 2 more Medivacs arrive and more Marines are running across the map, while the remaining Marines already taking out quite a lot of the important infrastructure of Miyuni's base here. So, well, I mean, in the meantime, trying to take a third base over here, but the SCV has already seen it. Estatte does not actually care. She just knows that if she kills the main base with all the important tech structures, she can end the game right here and now. The Banelings not even detonating into the Marines. HH! Just a misspelled GG at the end. GG, there it finally is. And Estatte ties the series 1-1. Cactus Valley is our third map in this best of 5 between Miyuni, over to the right hand side playing Zerg, and Estatte playing Terran, over to the left hand side, who's just managed to tie up the series 1-1 with a lot of Marine drops and killing off inferior units in the Zerglings. yeah, never a good idea to engage a lot of Marines with just like about the same amount of lings, even if you have quite a much, if you have quite an amount more than your opponent in lings. The Marines just dish out so much damage, especially with stim, and if they are then also parked in a good position where the lings can't really get a full surround, or you just don't even have enough lings in order to get a full surround, then your lings will just get obliterated without banglings, and that was what we saw last game. So Miyuni once more, it's a 4-player map, of course. You want to go for a hatch first. I mean, it's the typical standard opening in TVZ anyways. But yeah, no reason to not do it on a 4-player map. First Overlord already on its way towards the northern position. Will probably be disappointed not to find anything, but the other Overlord is already headed towards the west. And will scout her opponent's base there and then, or then and there. So at the same time, we also have the same opening by Estatte as well. There goes the command center, while waiting for the first Reaper to arrive and actually getting sent across the map the right way. So scouting counterclockwise will be successful this time around. So Overlord just slowly moving over. While we again, yeah, after the hatch first have the spawning pool and the gas. Also good stuff, nothing all too uncommon. With the first queen and the second queen now incoming. So reactor being produced right afterwards, right after the Reaper has left, which will now just scout the natural base. And we'll see the first few drones moving over here. Estatte actually not interested in taking down any of these drones, wants to have a clear scout first, sees that the spawning pool is wiggling and is researching speed. So now trying to take out maybe 1 or 2 drones, but the queen is out. So only with some magnificent skill you will be able to take out more of these drones and make sure that the Reaper stays alive. So it seems as if Estatte does not really want to test her abilities to keep the Reaper alive while under heavy queen fire, rather wants to keep it safe for a later scout. So she just retreats for now while producing a few Marines and the tech lab right behind it. So again, 2 racks opening and then probably going into the factory and starport, the good 211 as it's also called, while this time finally going into an early wall. Since it's pretty easy to wall off on Cactus, you only need 4 buildings in order to do that, if you want to use like a full proper building and then only a few supply depots, which you usually want to have in a wall as a Terran, because it's so easy to just lower them and then move out, or maybe rise them up in order to be able to defend this more easily. Ugh! 2 SCVs actually not doing anything, lazy French SCVs here. So, and over to the right hand side we still see Miyuni taking a 3rd base. Well, not actually that early on in the game, but that's just because she usually just wants to have a few lings early on in the game against Terran. We've seen her doing this again and again, 2 times actually in a row in this game, and now the 3rd time. So yeah, that seems to be Miyuni's style. She just wants to be aggressive early on if she can. Unfortunately on Cactus Valley, I think you could actually assume that their opponent is probably going for a full wall-off. So again, I mean, of course she can now just do the thing that she's always done so well throughout this series, just keeping her opponent contained a little bit, getting map vision like crazy once more. I mean, have a look at that already. The map vision is just amazing for Miyuni here, so really well done by her. While at the meantime we just have Estatte in comparison, not really seeing more than the edges of her own base. But yeah, it's of course pretty problematic for a Terran to get more presence out on the map, if you don't open with Hellions, of course. So that's not what Estatte was doing, so she, for now, has to stay inside her own base, waiting for the medevacs to arrive, and once they're out, she will finally be able to show some presence and maybe attack her opponent, maybe even as successful as she did last time. So mines in production as well, and the medevacs, so seems as if, again, yeah, both are just going for the kind of same strategy here. We also have a macro hatch already for Miyuni here while waiting for the evolution chamber. I like the macro hatch quite a lot. She's gathered quite some resources in the bank, so she really wants to be able to get rid of them, waiting for another queen to get out, but has already injected this hatch, probably with this queen over here. So with 4 hatches worth of lava production, she should just be able to get rid of this amount of minerals and gas. As soon as the desired tech is out, seems as if she... No, I mean, she doesn't really want to wait for... There's the baneling nest. I mean, she has so many resources, I think it would be really wise to just invest a few of those into links. She does now, and also needed quite a lot of overlords here because she got supply blocked, unfortunately, here. So, there's the medevac drop, but we have 4 queens just pushing it back for now. Again, I think it's quite problematic to only hold this push with just queens and links. It's possible to do, don't get me wrong, but I think just having a few banelings inside the mix, just some safety banelings, not like a huge amount, but maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 if you're really afraid. I think that should help quite a lot. And again, I like this move by Miyuni a lot. Like I said, her map vision is just fantastic. At least the part she really needs to know something about. She just has all the bases under control. Only thing I think she's lacking is some vision of her opponent's main base. But yeah, after seeing the medevac drops, after seeing a lot of marines, I mean, she doesn't really know about the mines yet, should probably know about them right now, because this circling should have actually seen all of them. So yeah, again, her map vision should help her. She knows what's headed her way. She could just morph some banelings in advance. Unfortunately, she's not, just morphing a few overseers in order to get vision for these burrowed mines here. But now again, all she has are queens and lings, and she has to fight against these widow mines over here. I don't really know if it's going to work, but this traitor mine actually fired a heavy shot right inside the marines here, and with the help of the just morphed banes and the queens and a few more lings over here, she should be able to easily clean this up and gain herself some advantage. But there's another second drop right coming in from behind, killing off all the queens as we speak, also killing 22 workers already, and now unfortunately Miyuni maybe being a little bit impatient here, trying again to just take out this marine force with pure links, which just doesn't succeed at all. All of her links forces being turned down, her third base is also being turned down as well. We have more marines incoming and actually no units whatsoever. Finally a few mutas and lings will pop, but yeah, I mean, guess what? Lings and mutas are both terrible against bigger amounts of marines. So even if these... Oh, and now the mutas even taking a heavy widow mine shot over here. But yeah, the mutas alone will never stand a direct engagement against that amount of marines. No way whatsoever. And without banelings, so finally 3 to 4 banelings just coming in from behind. But unfortunately, it's just too much Terran inside your base, so it won't work. GG, and Estatte takes the lead with a 2-1. So, here we go to Newkirk Precinct, spawning to the bottom right. In purple, we have our Zerg player Miyuni, and to the bottom left in blue, it's our Terran Estatte, which I think means summer in Italian, if I'm not mistaken. So, Overlord moving across the map. Of course, it's only a 2-player map, so both players know where the opponent had to spawn. I mean, Estatte has so far always tried to use drops against her opponent, and this map is like designed for drop play. You have a very short route towards your opponent if you want to go for an air attack, and there's very much wide open space here where you can just easily drop and come in from a lot of different angles. So if Estatte were to drop once more, we'll see if Miyuni actually tries to change your game up a little bit, tries to adjust a little bit to what she's seen so far. She should probably know that her opponent, or she should know that her opponent is probably going for another bio attack once more. I mean, you never can't be certain, even in these supposed lower leagues, what the opponent is going to do. So, even though a lot of people know one build very well and will probably very often rely on it to work out, in a best of 3, people just like to mix things up a little bit. Even if they aren't that comfortable with a different style than their usual one. But yeah, I mean, usually I think you can just expect your opponent to probably open the same way once more, or at least going bio-heavy and not just suddenly transitioning into mech. So she's died against it 2 times, not having banelings ready, so hopefully this time around she'll find an answer. Leading us into a game 5. But in the meantime, we just see the same build for both players once more. The 2-1-1 for Estatte, and the 3rd hatch now being thrown down. Yeah, just typical time. Maybe a little bit late even, but it's quite common to expand between 2:30 and 3 minutes. So that's what Miyuni does over here. Just waiting for the 300 minerals to come up. Oh, actually, she has it, so don't know what she's waiting for. Oh, actually just fighting with the Reaper over here. Never mind. But now she's finally got some time and plants down the hatchery here. Has good vision with her Overlord once more. Like I said, I mean, the vision of Miyuni usually is just extremely good. So same thing here for Estatte, actually. I really wonder why she always keeps her SCV over here. Maybe she just wants to plant down a bunker or a barracks or, no, actually, what is it, an eBay, in order to block this base once the Zerg tries to take it, maybe? So that's why she has an SCV in place. I don't really know. We never saw that, actually, because Miyuni has always taken the other base. So now finally we have some Zerglings running across the map, and the Reaper is moving away knowing that the speed should probably only be a few minutes away. But interestingly enough, it seems as if Miyuni has either forgotten speed or has decided to not actually getting it, or maybe wants to switch it up a little bit and maybe go into Roach Ravager right from the start, or maybe just want to skip the early game at all and wants to go into her beloved Mutas just instantly. So we see what's going to happen, what building is being thrown down. I mean, there's no Roach Warren whatsoever. It really seems as if she just wants to skip every little ling and wants to keep every little gas up for her mutas here. So in the meantime, we have Estatte just sitting down. I mean, that's also some kind of interesting adjustment here. Just having a look at the attack patterns of your opponent, knowing that your opponent will probably only move out with the first few medevacs because she's done so before 3 times in a row, and thus expecting to be maybe able to getting through with it, just directly tacking straight into mutas. Or something else, I don't really know. Well, there finally the spawning pool is researching the speed, the link speed. So it seems as if indeed it's just been forgotten. But do we have a Baneling Nest? I think that's really more important. Do we have a Baneling Nest? There comes the Spire. No Baneling Nest even available. And how many links are out? Okay, only a handful. Actually, one more than a handful. Okay, oh, I mean, guys, this doesn't look good at all. We have 2 medevacs full with Marines moving right into the natural base. We have only 1 Queen in position, so no way to shoot down the medevacs before they can drop their load. And there it comes. There it comes. 16 Marines, actually only 15 because there was only one Marine missing in that one. But yeah, I mean, what is she supposed to do? I mean, she's producing 22 lings, frantically trying to get this down, but even before they hatch, maybe her own lair is going to fall. The Spire will do her no good whatsoever. Even the 22 lings, I mean, this position of the Marines even taking out some as they try to escape or as they try to gather. So, I mean, with this position, the lings can't even get a real full surround here, being taken out like crazy. We have at least the Queens firing from behind, taking down 1 medevac, maybe taking down another. No, Miyuni just realizes that that she will lose too much, not trying to take down the medevac over here anymore, and now the Marines will probably just gun down the lair. Finally we have the Spire done, but even if she now started producing a few mutas, the mutas wouldn't even help her whatsoever. 24 more Lings in production. We have one more Widowmine, a few more units coming across the map, but it doesn't really matter. Seems as if this drop should just easily clear up everything. Finally, the medevac goes down, and with it, the rest of these Marines, without getting healed, will die too. But at what cost? I mean, Estatte has just done so much critical damage already. And there we have the second force incoming, this time with mine support and a little medevac. Seems as if Estatte just wants to wait a little more for a few more units to arrive, is already positioning the Widow Mine so that she can always retreat back towards that path, maybe luring some of the Lings into the Widow Mine and getting a good shot here that will cost efficiently just bring her more ahead. But, I mean, I don't really know what to do. Miyuni is still in an... Well, I can't really say in an okayish position. I mean, she still has that base over here, and it's very well saturated. So the income is looking still kinda okayish for her, although her opponent is already better than her on 2 bases, and has probably even constructed a third, yeah, which is now moving out. There's the second attack. This time, it seems the Lynx will get a good surround. Widowmine is firing, but also catching one of their own units there. So this actually gets cleared quite easily. And maybe now I think Miyuni might have a possibility to get back into the game. Still, this base is not up, the mining denied from here, and of course the drones that got killed in the initial push are still dead. Miyuni just, no, not even trying to get up more workers, since she knows that she will need a lot of units here in order to keep a second push or a third push right now back, but she still doesn't have a baneling nest. Oh, there it is. Never mind, there's the baneling nest, but I still think she should really try to get some in advance. I really like that maneuver over here, trying to get a hidden force as quickly as possible. She knows that she's behind in the economical game, so she actually wants to have or tries to get back with the economic advantage. Unfortunately for her, the push just walks over to the third base, taking the long route and discovering the fourth base over here, so even that fourth will be taken out. And yeah, it's down. So unfortunately this risk didn't pay out whatsoever. Finally, the first mutas get out. We have some banelings available as well. So let's see if Miyuni might actually take a good engagement over here, because if she does, she could really actually maybe come back into the game. I mean, she's still far behind, don't get me wrong, especially with that third base down. Unfortunately for Estatte, she's not really saturating it while attacking, while micromanaging at the front. Taking out another extractor for free here. Yes, if you're not sure you want to engage right now. I like this move again. Miyuni just trying to buy herself some time by taking down that cooling tower, making it a little bit more difficult for Estatte's units to access this base here, and just limiting the amounts of waste that she can send her army in. And, okay, just trying to not borrow any of these links, and also not setting this Widow Mine up. So, okay, there finally it goes down, the debris is down, we have another push over to the left-hand side, only a small marine push. Yeah, probably was just thinking that there might have been another base down there, but it wasn't. And in the meantime, we have the Widow Mine just getting another good shot, but only 1 kill over here, so nothing all too problematic. But yeah, let's see how long this is going to take. I mean, until she realizes that the Widow Mine is still left in here, and will send over their Overlord. Okay, never mind. Very nice reaction there by Miyuni. Now moving in with only Lynx, and yeah, the banelings unfortunately didn't quite get the big chunk. Knows that it's over. GG's out, and Estatte takes the series 3-1.